you guys in the back hear the mic? Yes? Thank you. Ladies, gentlemen, and the otherwise gendered, welcome. Thanks for coming out tonight. Tonight, Anarchy Now Productions, FemFlick Zine, and Eldorado come together to bring you what we think is one hell of a show. We hope you think so too. Tonight we have from New York, Liz Tracey, co-author of So You Want to Be a Lesbian, in the house tonight. We have Lucy Thane, originally from England, and from San Francisco with her new film, She's Real Worse Than Queer. And we have Core for a rare show, so you are in luck tonight. It's also a zine release event, thank you, for Tina Spangler's FemFlick, so you've got to check that out. FemFlick is an extraordinary little publication. It's one of the most beautiful zines I've ever seen. It handles a range of information from alternative to very mainstream film, women in film stuff. You're really doing yourself a disservice. So much pleasure could be yours if you would only check out FemFlick. And you would do that over there. Sorry? Oh, thought I heard something exciting to say. Yes. Okay. I think all of you have got mailing lists, propaganda in your hands, and volunteers will come around to pick that stuff up. If you have it and you want to get rid of it, you can hand it over to Tina back at the table there. Thanks. I'm a little bit on the nerdy side, so I'm going to read some of my comments. Please bear with me. Why the hell are we doing this event? Well, you probably know because you're here. We're doing this to support women who are doing alternative work, alternative film, alternative music, alternative events, books, all kinds of things, zines. And this is an important culture. It's a way that women can speak for themselves and talk about real life the way that we experience it, and no bullshit. So there's some people here tonight, zines and record labels to check out. I hope that you can do that too. I want to tell you a little bit about the people who put on this event tonight. FemFlick got started 3.5 years ago, the brainchild of Tina Spangler, and she was hoping to put together her background as a feminist film theory student and also her interest in the punk rock scene to create kind of a riot girl film sort of place for people to put work together and create a center for that culture. Let's see. She had this film night. I don't know if anybody was there, July, the film night at the Bookseller. Anybody make that show? It was a great lineup. It was a very unusual show for Boston. So thanks to Tina for bringing in all that great stuff. So tonight is just another event that Tina's trying to reach her goals of bringing this sort of riot girl film community together. So I hope that you will help her reach those goals too. Please bear with me, I'm sorry. I just want to say a little bit about Anarchy Now. Probably a lot of you may have heard me say these words before, in which case it's a good time for a nap. Anarchy Now handles promotion and production of cultural, social, and benefit events. And our goal is to bring together opportunities for alternative culture like this. And some of you may have seen our events earlier this year. We had a big poetry slam at MIT with Lisa King emceeing that event. Some of you may have been there. We had a benefit for Son of a Butch, which is a documentary film about butch women by local filmmaker Shoshana Rosenfeld. And we also, just in November, I don't know how many of you were there, had Fluid, which is kind of a breakthrough for Boston, having a large erotica event with lots of people attending and readers from all over, kind of Boston Puritan image thing. So we hope that we made some progress towards that. Basically, part of the reason that Anarchy now exists is because we think Boston has a retention problem. Okay, I know Boston's retentive in some ways, but there's a different kind of retention I'm talking about. And that is retention of interesting, progressive, queer people, alternative people. And so what we're trying to do, and I think what some of these other organizations are trying to do, is create opportunities for us to come together, support each other, find out what we really want to do, let each other know about other events. And so we're hoping that you all will get involved in that effort. I just want to say also a little bit about Heldorado. Some of you may be familiar with rock promoter Heldorado. That's Billy Ruane's vehicle for promotion and production. He's generously donated services to help this event go off. We really appreciate Billy's help. Some of you may have been at the Big Monster Fishhook record release party at Green Street, and he was very much involved in that. And also, on behalf of Billy, I just want to thank Tanuvial for introducing him to Tina and all of us, and getting the ball rolling for the event. Thanks, Tanuvial. So after the show, I hope that you can stick around and dance and party with us and check out the zine people and talk to the out-of-town celebudykes, to borrow a Liz Tracey term, and talk to the folks in core and talk to each other, and let's come up with some other fun things to do. There will be a time for announcements. If some of you are doing some really great thing and you want to let people know, please come up and let us know. There'll be a time for announcements after the movie. So thanks a lot, and I'm just going to introduce Liz Tracey. We want to welcome Liz Tracey, who's come all the way from New York to see us today. If anybody's read her book, probably also lost control laughing, as I did. The book is from St. Martin's Press. She co-authored it with Sydney Percorny. Some of you may recognize Liz and Sydney name from a gossip column that was really popular in Outweek from 89 to 90. And two of them are sort of like New York scene queens, gossip, and the whole thing. So Liz is now involved in a new project, which is she's editor-in-chief of LGNY, a biweekly newspaper in New York City. So look out for that. So You Want to Be a Lesbian pokes fun at our culture and challenges us to expand our notions of what it means to be a queer woman. So I want to ask Liz Tracey, what the hell does it take? Come on up here and tell us. Yeah.
I think Hannah's got the lesbian thing down, don't you? Thank you so much for having me. This is probably the largest reading I've ever done, and it's great to be here in Boston. I literally got in about an hour and a half ago from New York, and so far it's the best time I've ever had, so thanks. And later on I'll be servicing all your cars. Oh yeah. You want me to look under your hood? Oh dear. Everything they say about Boston is not true. Okay, this is the book, and I never thought that the phrase celebudike would actually be used about me. We were making fun of other people, so now I know. My one moment of shameless self-promotion, it's being sold over there. If you're interested, I promise I'll sign it later, or any other body part you care to offer, whatever. Let's see, a quick story. Sydney can't be here. Her Xanax dealer only is in town on Sundays, so she can't come, but she wanted me to send you all her regards. Sydney and I, yes, we did write a gossip column together, and then we did a zine called Dead Jackie Suzanne Quarterly, which some of you may know. It's now a web zine. It's pretty much an homage to Jacqueline Suzanne, someone who I think was not celebrated enough and is only now coming into her own as a serious sort of bisexual, lesbian type of author come celebrity. Her biography is being reissued. It's called Lovely Me. I suggest you all read it. But then Sydney and I, while we were doing that, didn't have we were writing and doing things, and we both worked in academic publishing, which is the strangest way to come to this story, which is we were sitting around one day thinking, gee, wouldn't it be great if you did a series of how-to books, like how to be a violent anarchist, how to be a lesbian performance artist, how to be a lesbian. bada bing, bada boom, here's the book. Can you tell I'm from New York? So what I'm going to do is, usually when I do a reading, I don't read so much from the music section, but this time I'm going to because we're all here, a lot of us are here for music. So I'm going to start off with some of that, and then I'll flip back to some of the more sort of practical hands-on stuff like bad flirting. But I know that. Here we go. Top 10 reasons to attend a women's music festival at least once. 10. Expand your culinary horizons by trading tofu recipes in the mess tent. Annoying sniffers by wearing garlic necklace can be fun. Added bonus keeps all those pesky lesbian vampires away. Won't have to search for good vegetarian cuisine. Can check out the latest trends in lesbian handcrafts and add to your lavish jewelry collection. Satisfy your curiosity about what women musicians have groupies or not. Pick up lots of new tips on ways to wear flannel. Unlike Woodstock, where there were always long lines for the toilet, you know that the facilities will be available during the Chris Williamson set. 3, where else can a lesbian vacation with so many other dykes and still have clothing be optional? Number 2, lots of different lesbians from all over the country stuck in one place overnight equals amazing odds that for once you will not know your one-night stand. And the number 1 reason for attending a women's music festival, topless dykes fill mosh pit during Tribe 8 show. Okay. Let's go to the big moment. This is about sex. You flirted, you may have even dated, but right now you're in an apartment or a house or a hotel somewhere and there's a bed nearby. You're both staring at it. You've been in this situation before, or maybe not. Everything you thought you knew about sex just flew out the window. You can't think clearly since most of the blood in your body has flown south for the impending activities. You're horny. You're breathing heavily, and you're in a panic. In the great tradition of 12-step programs seemingly embraced by our sisters, here is the 12-step program for having great sex the first time. Number 1, relax. These aren't the Olympics. You both want to be here, or else you'd be reading the section on seducing yourself, how to be your own best one-night stand. Don't think you have to be the best lover this woman's ever had, thereby assuring you'll be so concerned with your performance that no one's going to enjoy it. There's time enough for performance anxiety, and she's just as nervous as you are. Number 2, talk. Talk about what you both enjoy, ask her what she likes, tell her what you want. As much as people say, whatever you like. And God, haven't I heard that before? We all have secret things we really love, so why not share? Little things like, I'll come if you suck on my earlobes can make things so much more interesting. Don't forget to talk during sex. Tell her you like it. Tell her if you don't. It doesn't have to be like assembling furniture, but there's no point in doing something that's more annoying than exciting. Afterward, tell her how much you liked it, how hot she is. Nobody minds hearing things like that. Number 3, breathe. This sounds stupid, but many women have gotten lightheaded and dizzy, a few even passed out cold because they forgot to respirate. The importance of sex, damn. I just blew the best line in the book. The importance of oxygen during sex cannot be overemphasized. See if I've gotten it right, you would have laughed more. Number 4, don't expect the earth to move. This is because a lot of women have difficulty having an orgasm with a new partner or in a new situation. If you don't put a lot of pressure on each other to have multiple orgasms, it'll be that much easier. However, be patient. Just because we're not pressuring anyone into orgasm doesn't mean you should give up after 5 minutes. If it feels good, that's what's important. Nothing is better than having someone do something that feels incredible and know that they'll keep doing it for as long as you want them to. Don't cripple yourself. But remember, a little stick-to-itiveness goes a long way. Keep the lines of communication open. Keep breathing. Use your body. Just as verbal cues are important, so is your body language. If you can't wait for her to touch you, get her there yourself. If you want to be on top, get on up there. Sex should be an experience in which you're fully engaged, body and soul. Number 9, laugh. People don't laugh enough during sex. Taking anything too seriously can rob it of its fun. Going to bed with someone is no different. Don't be afraid to do it. It's not a library or a church. God forbid. Don't be selfish. Odds are, if you've been getting all the attention, there is one very overheated woman next to you in bed. Make sure to follow the golden rule, do unto others as they would have do unto you. Number 11, do not under any circumstances roll over and go to sleep. This is incredibly tacky, and a guarantee that you'll never get a second invitation. And number 12, don't assume what will happen afterward. You might be disappointed or pleasantly surprised. And underneath this is the list on how to know if you're having good sex. You remember her name. You forget yours. You don't think about how much laundry is lying in the corner of your room where everyone, especially she, can see it. You don't feel as if you want to get up in the middle of it and go shoot pool or bowl or something. Her gasps of passion did not sound like Tasmanian goat thrashing songs, even if that's what they were. Your pets go neglected. Now there's a footnote here. To animal activists, we are not encouraging this sort of behavior. We deplore letting the kitties and doggies or ferrets or whatever exospecial companion one chooses to share one's life with go hungry or unwalked or stuck in the corner of the sofa for 3 hours because being flexible, one can pretty much curl up wherever one wants. However, it must be noted that on occasion, even the most conscientious human companion will abandon one's responsibilities in pursuit of more animal pleasures. We would also like you to know that no animals were used in the creation of this book. Okay, favorite lesbian vehicles. Oh yeah, and all the stuff that's in here that you don't like, Sydney wrote that. I'm kidding. Favorite lesbian vehicles. Motorcycles of any make or model. Deep down inside, every lesbian truly yearns to be a dyke on a bike. Vintage Thunderbirds. Thelma and Louise drove one. All bad women drive Thunderbirds. Trans Ams. Because guys aren't the only ones who like to blare Led Zeppelin and cruise mall parking lots looking for chicks. And if I could drive, I would do it too. Pickups are four-wheel drive vehicles for butch lesbians who feel that every vehicle should be first and foremost a utility vehicle. The Mazda Miata. The femme vehicle of choice because only femmes believe that the sole purpose of a vehicle is to make you look good. Should a femme need a utility vehicle, she just calls one of her butch friends. Sydney wrote that, I swear to God. Really. Volvo wagons, change a few letters and the name says it all. Saabs, a sort of counterculture BMW, a status symbol for lesbians with a steady job and a healthy cash flow. Perhaps it is the odd, slightly egg-shaped design that lesbians find comforting. For those lesbians without the pocketbook for an import, try the AMC Pacer, aka the bubble car. Public transportation, not because you don't own a car, but because you want to conserve energy. Unicycle, a favorite at women's festivals and arts and crafts fairs, usually found next to mimes. And collapsible bicycles, the ultimate triumph of function over form, so you know it was probably invented by a lesbian. Okay, what's that? Oh, we'll call this a commercial interlude. 5 lesbian role models from Saturday morning cartoons. Velma from Scooby-Doo. Alexandra from Josie and the Pussycats. You know, she had that Susan Sontag thing happening with the hair. Isis from the Mighty Isis. Natasha from Bullwinkle, my personal favorite. And, of course, Wonder Woman. Woo! Okay. I'm going to read you a quick bit from Parents because I don't want to give away the whole damn book and then you won't be interested in reading the rest of it. This is entitled, No Mom, I Didn't Say Lebanese. And I wrote that way before Ellen DeGeneres started using that whole, no, not lesbian, Lebanese, I'm gonna be Lebanese on the show, whatever. Okay, these are some of the potential reactions you can get from your parents when you're coming out to them. The first is selective hearing loss. What was that, dear? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Mom, I'm gay. Yes, it is, isn't it, dear? What? A nice day? It's a lovely day. Mom, no, I'm gay. I'm a lesbian. No, we're not. You're Welsh, just like the rest of us. Your mother looks Italian, but I think maybe she might be Irish. No, Dad, not Lebanese. This could go on forever. And in some cases, it might be nice parental equivalent of I'm not having it. Sometimes they'll break and let you know they've known all along, and this is just how they've chosen to deal with it, or it could just be a phase they're going through. Then there is grandchildren by any means necessary. My parents just recently entered this category. These are parents who have only one thing on their minds, baby booties, grandkids. They want little tykes, or dykes even, to read stories to and coddle and spoil and complain about babysitting for. When you came out to them, it barely fazed them. Right, you're a lesbian, but you still want kids, right? Yeah, I do. Great. Okay, when? When what? When kids? Heck, Dad, I'm 19. I know, kitten, I just want to make sure I'm still here when little Sappho, or whatever you're going to name her, gets here. You're afraid to have a girlfriend over to the house because they start sizing her up. She's tall. Excuse me, Greta, do you have a brother? Good. Has he ever thought about becoming a sperm donor? Mom! You can either continually bash your head against the wall of their single-minded determination for you to give birth in the next possible moment, or perhaps humor them, even get back at them. Go over during a holiday and bring a bunch of home pregnancy tests. Make sure you go to the bathroom often. Feign nausea, this might even stop them. How are we doing on time? Well, I've been allotted a half an hour, so I guess at this point I will take questions from the floor, and it's a big one, so anybody? Oh, what a bummer.
Be brave.
I came 6 hours on the Amtrak, we were 40 minutes late, and you're not gonna ask me a question? I'm so bummed. Okay, Liz, what's your next book? Well, okay, there's two. I'm working on my next 2 books. I'm working on 2 books. One of them is called, a series, actually it's a little more serious than this. It's a series of autobiographical essays, but they're funny. And the other one is, cross your fingers on this one. How many of you know the rules?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. So I'm writing the lesbian parody of the rules. And it's all about how to like get dates and have sex, but not get married on the first date. So it's the opposite of that. We call it the drill. And so that's it. And let's see. I don't know if you get LGNY here. It's the lesbian gay newspaper in New York. That's what I do. I'm the editor-in-chief there. And so, if anybody ever moves down to New York and wants to write for me, give me a ring. And I guess that's about it, unless somebody came up with a question. I'm staying after the show. I'm going to let the newspaper go to hell without me, and I'm going to be here, and I'd be happy to hang out and talk and have fun and, you know, do whatever. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Liz. You can get your autographed copy of that book if you want to, right over there after the show. I want to introduce Lucy Thane. She's here from San Francisco with her film. This is the Boston premiere. It may be the only Boston showing, so you are happy you're here. Lucy Thane is a 29-year-old independent filmmaker and videomaker from London, England. She's now living in San Francisco, and she interns and teaches documentary at Artist Television Access in San Francisco. And she works freelance as a camera person and editor. She's also co-curator of Shoot Woman First and Lick and Flicker, finders of venues and video distribution for women's film and video. Some of you may have seen her other film at the FemFlix show in July. It's called, in 1993, Bikini Kill toured the UK and it changed my life. We were very lucky that she had the brilliant idea to take her show on the road. She's been all over the country. She just came in from New York today, fresh off the train. We're delighted to have Lucy Thane here tonight. Come on up, Lucy.
Hello, lots of people. I don't like speaking in public, so I'm just going to say, okay, we're going to show a video I started making about 3 years ago. I like film and video slightly obsessively, and it was a really good excuse to meet lots of really amazing women. And so I just basically borrowed, I don't have any equipment, and so I would just ask, camera, but just like, sorry, someone sniggered. But so I moved my way very slowly from London to New York to San Francisco, where I stayed, and now I'm videoing as many brilliant people who you will see some of in the video. I don't have anything else to say. Oh, I've been touring it across the country for the last 7 weeks or something. I'm a little confused at the moment. Oh, I've also been traveling with other people's videos and showing them as much as possible. I want to have a big list of, I want to start, because I'm going to distribute my video, I'm going to distribute other people's videos. So if anyone wants to come and give me their address, I'd like to give them a big long, I'll send them lots of information about really amazing women's work and as much information as possible. And I can't think of very much else to say, so I hope you like the video. And you can ask me questions, and I'll try and be articulate in response. Bye, I hope you enjoy it.
So I take it you like the film? Okay, you ready to ask questions? Lucy Thane's going to just say a little bit more about the film and answer your questions. Lucy, I'm hoping that you'll tell us something about how you got involved in the punk scene, maybe something about the making of this film, the last film. Give us some history.
That's a lot of questions.
I'll say them again. Come on. Okay, here she is, Lucy Thane.
Hello, thank you. Ask me a question. Do you have any questions? Okay.
2 questions. Was that film mostly filmed in London or here? And the second one, how much is that culture tied in with the drug culture?
With the drug culture?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh, sorry. Not very much of it's filmed in London. I started it in London 3 years ago. I moved to America in June of 1994, I think. And I've mainly done it since then. And actually, to be honest, I lost a bunch of footage. I lost most of my London footage. Which is sad. That's why I actually put in the stuff about Sister George's from the last video I made, the Bikini Girl video. I put lots of British bands in it because basically what was exciting about that thing was the audience reaction. So just having, you know, these American people coming in wasn't going to be enough. And so that was just in because they needed to be in there, and I'm really sad that I don't have the footage I had. So most of it was done a lot was done when I first got to New York. There was the Stonewall thing, and there was a number of homocle shows, and loads of people from all over the country were in town. So a lot of those interviews are like 2.5 years old. And then I went to San Francisco, meaning to just go there for a few weeks, and because of money and whatever else, I stayed there, and so a lot of stuff was done there. But more like people coming in from out of town than videoing what was going on around me. Though that happened a bit, like people like all the people in it have been really, really involved in doing it and really, really into it, and some of the footage is done by, you know, people who are in it. They've like done an interview with themselves or each other and then sent it to me or whatever. And drug culture thing. I think a lot of people have, a lot of people I know and I've had a lot of, I know more people who are like in recovery of some, you know, than who are actually, I know that's not necessarily true. I don't know, I know that's so a part of, it's probably it's just such a kind of like fundamental part of like, growing up and in this horrible society. It's like you run away, and I think part of what this is about is trying to find other ways other than the other horrible methods we've found to make life a little better. But it's, you know, obviously that, you know, there are people who are still, you know, needing that and haven't found anything better. So I'm not going to say it's a totally separate reality that's being portrayed, but I think I'm not feeling like I need that at the moment because I found all these fabulous humans or whatever. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any more questions?
I got a question. You gonna shoot any footage of bands around here? You gonna stay around?
No. But you should. Someone else should. Because I've been like videoing people for like, I don't know, whatever, 3 or 4 years, and like following people around with a camera. I mean, it's like something I felt very honored, and it's good to do, because it's like those things now exist beyond the little thing that happened at each moment, but I don't really want to do it anymore. But anyone else who wants to do that, any encouragement I can give to that, or any advice or anything, I'm totally, you know, it just seems important to record what we're doing. But
How did you finance it? You said you borrowed equipment, or you rent equipment?
no, it's basically all, I mean, I think about twice maybe, I was really desperate to get something videoed, and so I couldn't find a camera. But basically, I mean, part of the reason it's taken so long is because I had to just like borrow things, and you can find people with cameras. I mean, people have them, and sometimes the formats I used are really, really varied dependent on whoever was available. And like, for instance, I ended up staying longer in San Francisco partly because it took me a while, because I didn't know anyone really when I first got there, to find people who had cameras. And now I just have like a bunch of people I know I can get cameras, and I edited it. I intern at a place called Artist Television Access in San Francisco, and you just have to work like 4 hours a week, and you get free access to like editing, to like computers, to like, it's really score. And just like, but yeah, and I also, when I was in New York, I interned at it was like a dance funding place, but they had a video camera, so I just worked there a couple of hours, and then I got to borrow their camera. And just like, yeah, I never ever, I'm really bad at saving money or having money or just, so. But it's completely possible, like you don't need like bazillions. I mean, it's like what I'm recording is about, is people who don't have very much money, and so it's completely relevant to the subject. You know, it's like not, I don't know, I'd like to make fancier movies, like I want to make something a bit more arty, and I don't know how I'm going to do that with like, you know, but working out how to make money is my next thing I want to try. you got any advice? Any other questions?
What do you think is going on with the riot girl scene now? Is it getting like, is it developing work?
I think I mean there are like, I was just in New York and I showed it in New York a couple of times, and there was this whole little riot girl New York City gang there. So obviously, you know, it exists too. But I think probably a majority of people involved in that had some relationship to that. But I think it's basically like I don't know, I mean my personal perspective on it is it's something that happened at a certain time period and has been really influential, like massively widely. But I find slightly more exciting like the lots and lots of different things that have been affected by that, and so rather than just having I don't know, I mean, because I think it was never any kind of, I think it was always a case of whatever you want to make it, that's what it is. And so I think it continues to be what it is, but it's been distorted in many different ways, some of them positive and some of them really negative. I don't know.
How did you originally get into punk rock music?
I don't know. I mean, I've liked that kind. I mean, I was like, you know, I don't know. I like music, and punk rock is a form of music amongst many others that I like. But I met some. I started when Bikini Kill said they were coming to England. It was mainly like here. I wasn't that interested in. I was really into the whole punk thing when I was probably younger, and then that whole Riot Girl thing and all that was very it was very exciting hearing women being really, really overt about pain and how they felt, but in this really active way that they were talking about it pragmatically, not just like, oh, everything's terrible, it's all against us. It was that, and we're doing, and a strength that I could relate to personally, and the music expressed that well, and it's just, and I think, and also the fact that you don't have to have very much money to do it. I mean, I think it's just a pragmatic thing that certain people within their certain kind of environments that makes available, making things and expressing who they are. Anything else? Hello? Uh-huh. Why don't you talk about what you're doing?
I've been working for like, I don't know, a year and a half now on this project. I was a bartender at the Naked Eye and shot a lot of footage there. And went to the dancers. It's a strip bar.
Who are you?
It's closed now. My name's Michelle Wild. So I just started shooting. They let me go in there with my camera. And
the microphone!
And I don't know, a lot of stuff Liz was saying really resonated. Like I'd go down there on my motorcycle, I got hit, knocked off my bike one night, and just kept going, and lots of things happened, and I kept going, and that was just, I just want to thank you for being very inspiring. But so I'm about to enter post-production, and I'm really nervous right now. What am I supposed to say? Yeah. I mean, I definitely need support, and feel like, I don't know, I'm maybe gonna work with this woman right here, but musical things, whatever, money, lots of money.
What were you shooting at the
I went backstage. I just would sneak in sometimes. It was like totally oppressive there, with the owners and the management completely feeling like this tight rein of control, and yet I'd like go in there, and if they wouldn't let me shoot something, I'd kind of, you know, sneak my camera in. So I don't know. I have all this footage that's gonna.
Show it at Hannah's next gig.
Yeah, fundraiser.
Thanks for letting me ramble, or making me ramble, I don't know.
That's part of what I think we're all hoping for, is for different people from the community to come forward and say what they're doing and let people know. So if you're interested in getting involved in a project or interested in giving us bundles of money, you're available at any time to take your money. Just a comment about film. Film is probably one of the most expensive forms that we're working with alternative culture, and as I already mentioned before, I had done a benefit for Shoshana Rosenfeld's film, Son of a Butch, and I'll probably be doing another one for that. So just think about the filmmakers in your life. They probably need some money for their work. If you think their project's important, then help them out. Okay, so I'm just going to say thank you to a few people, and we're going to let a couple of other people just tell you about things that are going on. I think it's really hard. I find it very hard to find out what's going on in Boston. You really have to work. It's like a research project. You have to go to the fucking library. And it makes me sick, and that's why I have a weekly calendar on email. If you're interested, there's that mailing list thing that went around. If you put your email on, I can add you to this list. You can get information on email, nice and easy. I want to thank some people who worked on the sound tonight. Marissa Tamara-Derry and Anna Boris, technical geniuses behind the sound here, with Beth Bigley, also in the Genius area, all of them involved in the Mensa group. I want to thank Tracey, Beal, and Rick from Ryles and all the staff here. Volunteers, Lisa Fairclough, who's been amazing, just totally taking over the town with the propaganda for this. Adrian Paz, Nicole Minotti, Lisa King, Heath Rowe, Juliet Warrington also. I also want to thank Allison Queering and Sarah Miller. And this is a long list, I'm very sorry. Claudia Montagnier, Salva Chavez, Rice Rio, Anushka Fernandopoulos, Rose Elliott, and then some people from the Phoenix who really helped us out, Matt Asher and Andrea Hildebrand of FNX 1 in 10. How many people heard the 1 in 10 show with Liz Tracey on Monday night? Did anybody hear that 10 o'clock show? You missed it, man. 10 o'clock on Mondays, WFNX has a 1 in 10 show, so check them out. It's 101.7. Also want to thank In Newspaper for showing up to cover this today. And Sojourner and Bay Windows for their help. Okay. You're sick of me. I've got 3 more names. Thank you for bearing with me. I just want to thank Emily Bender, Shoshana Rosenfeld, and Meg Hobbs. Okay, you can come back now. I'm going to just step off to the side for a moment and let some of the fabulous women of this town who have incredible things to tell you about come on the stage. Can we have Ren? We've got a poetry slam that you all might want to know about. Ren?
Hi there. I'm Ren Gender, and it's nice to be able to promote this event, this upcoming event, the Amazon Super Slam, an all-women poetry slam, at this event, because I know I was certainly inspired now and when I was younger by loud women with guitars. So this is an event of loud women without guitars. The Amazon Super Slam is women who have previously won money from us in the Amazon Slam, which, as I said, is an all-woman poetry slam. Okay, that's going to be December 29th, last Sunday of the month, 2 days before the new year, 6 p.m. Doors open at 5:30. Please get there early, I mean like 5:30 or 5:45, so you can get in. And I'll just tell you who's there. Amani Henry, Lisa King, Jacqueline Friedman, Krasta Yo, and Don Doherty. Do come, it'll be a good time. Like I said, the last one was packed, so try to get there early. Thanks again, December 29th, 6 p.m., be there.
Thank you, Ren. Now we have Rise Rio to tell you about the Dirty Bird Festival. This should interest all of you punk rock aficionados.
Hi. Okay, I don't know, on your chairs, I passed out a bunch of flyers, and it's the Dirty Bird Festival that was held. It was a 4-day event in San Francisco. I know a few people that went to it, and I'm envious of them. But anyways, there was footage that was shot by Davy Jones, my roomie. Dave, say hi. And, and also my best buddy, Mira Ingram. And so Davey edited the video, and we're gonna have a Dirty Bird Festival, a queercore documentary with a bunch of bands like Tribe A, Dyke Van Dyke, Kicking Giants, Slater Kinney, Waycross, The Third Sex, Stop Press, Frozen Chicken Patties, etc., and so on. And it's gonna be held Friday, December 13th at 7:30 p.m. in our basement. So, yeah, it's a Friday. So, and it's $2.50, and bring snacks. And so if you want directions to my house, come up to me, okay? Bye.
Thanks, Rise. You guys are all sitting in this bar called Upstairs at Ryles. I thought I would just tell you some things that are coming up right here, conveniently located at this exact spot. Let's see. On the 15th, there's a comedy bang. How many people made it to the comedy bang? Anybody out there? Supposedly it went really well. I actually didn't make it. That's going to be on December 15th, 8 to 9 p.m. And then afterwards, DJ Adrian will rearrange your brain with her incredible dance mix. That's till 1 a.m. party. On the 22nd, Amy West is playing progressive folk rock, and DJ Adrian will be there again. 29th, Ren already told you, is the Slam, and the 31st is something very special. As you may know, it's New Year's, and Ryles is putting on an incredible and original New Year's extravaganza. The tickets are already selling, so if you're interested in being at Ryles and doing the New Year's thing, I would recommend finding out about it tonight. Ask one of the door people, one of the people working for the club. It's going to include a cocktail hour with Karen Sarkazian, a holiday dinner buffet, Chapter and Verse is performing, and DJ Adrian. The party goes to 2 a.m. and the whole thing costs $19.97. It's a lot of stuff for not that much money. So there's a limited number of tickets, and I hope that people will be able to make that. Some of you are interested in other events, and so I'm going to tell you about them. The other ones, just keep chatting. I know they're going to do whatever I say. Perhaps you guys read a magazine called Sojourner. Sojourner is a great paper. It has an incredible events calendar that makes me drool every month. It's true, I'm not lying. And they're having a benefit. They do incredible work. They have great, it's a women's paper. It has all kinds of articles, political, cultural, everything. They started doing some interesting work that was related to the erotica event last month. They're having a benefit for Sojourner. And Christos is a very well-known poet, and Connie Panzarino are going to be reading at the JP Firehouse on Center Street. It's $5 at the door, and this is taking place December 10th, this Tuesday, so check that out. December 18th, Woman on the Verge, is a new reading series. It's in the Mills Gallery, BCA, Wednesday, December 18th. And then Friday, the 20th, Women reading what they've written at the Arlington Street Church. It's $7.15 if you want to sign up. I guess $7.30 for the reading. It's $3. And if you need handicapped access, you can call ahead. December 9th at MIT. Some of you may be interested in these very interesting films about Japan. Dreamgirls, really interesting documentary about a woman's performing arts school where this woman, some of them perform as men, some of them perform as women. They do this like romantic thing, and then millions of women in Japan have crushes on the women who are playing men. Kind of an exciting transgender twist there. It's double featuring with Shinjinko Boys, which is about transgender FTMs in Japan, and that's going to be at MIT. And there's a phone number I can give you for the information. It's Monday, December 9th. Hope you can make that. Okay, and we'll be introducing the band soon, so catch you in a few minutes.